Yo, welcome everybody to TCR, Trinity Competitive Racing, and welcome to round number 6 for the British Grand Prix here in the silver class, and as always, for season 16. It is myself, Seafreeze, and we got a special stream here for everybody. Just to go over the stream's rating. We are rated M for mature because we have a special guest of Segrist, a golden class driver. He just got his first win at the Netherlands, which, according to our statistics, which was just updated today, it was your 100th race start in TCR, and you got your first win in golden class. You used to race in silver class. You had a few races. You had a different username at the time, Lucking Up, but then you changed it to Segrist. And yeah, you've raced a little bit in all classes. We had a little tango at Abu Dhabi last season at Platinum, in the Platinum class. And now we're gonna be best friends in the commentary booth. So welcome here today, Segrist. How are you?
Right on. I'm good, man. Yeah, stuff happens in racing, but yeah, we're all good. And that is cool to know it was my 100th race. I won't have the win on. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, did you have any idea about that, or?
I did joke around about thinking it was close to that, but I didn't no clue it was on point. I was wondering about another stat I brought up to Silent the other day. Did I break a record for being the oldest driver to ever win a race in TCR?
I think that's Bats Plus.
Okay. You got me?
No, I don't know. I'm not too sure. Although, speaking about the 100th race in the race win, in Golden Class, we thought that at France last week, it was GTR Line's 100th race, and he was going for the win. He didn't win, he got a podium, but after calculations, GTR Lion 100th race is actually this week for the British Grand Prix, because we counted the sprint race last season, so which isn't really a race star, it's a sprint. So he's back at 99, and he has another shot at it this week. And speaking of GT, just a quick note. Last season we had our first induction and ballot for the Hall of Fame for TCR. After 15 seasons of statistics, hundreds of drivers, a bunch of races, and 3 classes, we decided to open up a TCR Hall of Fame, which drivers can get in with a couple different ways, being a driver, commentator, contributor, someone who helped the league. And earlier this morning we had our podcast episode release, episode 33, and we had GTR Line on. It was me, him, and myself. We both got inducted, and we talked about our induction a little bit, and we also talked about some of the new nominees on the ballot. So if you haven't listened to the episode yet, it was a pretty nice episode, and I'd like to thank GT for hopping on with us. There was also one other nominee who got in, which was Mr. Sensation. So us 3 got in last season, and we'll have to get Sensation on an episode at some point. But the new ballot is open for the Hall of Fame. You can vote as long as you're in our Discord, which is in the link in the description on the YouTube side of things, and it's open all the way until finale night at the Platinum class, so that's like November 16th. You got plenty of time to know who you want to vote for, and 3 drivers, the top 3 will get in. So all the statistics as well on the website have been updated from last season, and they're pretty accurate, although if there are any errors, you let us know. But yeah, a little update there on the TCR Hall of Fame and the podcast episode that released this morning. Segrist, you have any ideas of who you might be voting for?
I'm pretty sure you got one of my votes. So I helped get you in there.
Did you vote for me?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
if I remember right. That's a cool thing though, what you're doing, because yeah, it's been long, racking up the seasons, so it's cool to throw a Hall of Fame in there. Good idea.
Yeah, so drivers eligible are those who at least had their first race between season 1 and 6. So obviously we're in season 16, so we're a couple years, couple seasons behind. But that gives a chance, for drivers to kind of put enough races on the board. So by the time you're eligible, you have enough on the resume, so to speak. Other leagues do a Hall of Fame type of dealio, but they started so early, like in season 3. There's not much history there to do a Hall of Fame. So 6 years in, I think we got enough good drivers. I hope. How many minutes are left here? We have 8.5 minutes left. Last week was France, and I'm looking at the standings here. It was Zionical who won. It was rain in that rain race. It went rain and then went back to dry. And Zionical planned it perfectly with the strategy. He won last week, and he is leading the Drivers' Championship with 109 points. F1 Nerd is in second with 61. Chabar, which is his teammate, is in third with 46. Z-Man Nars with 40. Halberg with 34. And the constructors, we got the team of McLaren, which is Zionical and Whizbang, who's not here tonight, at 111. Red Bull is at 107. Easy 10. Z-Man Nars, the Alpines, at 61. So that's your top 3 there. All that is in our Discord if those who aren't wants to see all that good stuff. We got a comment saying from Elduminici. I definitely did not say that right. He says, expecting a great race, especially after all the esports drama. Let's go. I don't even know what esports drama they're talking about. I'm not too sure if you know, Seekers.
No clue.
Yeah, we don't worry about that nonsense.
This is our esports.
Yeah, right.
Here. This is the important one. Some good times out there already for the silver class.
Yeah, 26 won by Kluka. Some guy right behind him, 100th.
And that's Camden's brother.
That is his younger brother, Colby.
How old's he?
Luca. Colby Luca. What times you started practicing, Segrist? Do you know what times maybe will be the pole time here, or even tomorrow?
And I am high 26s right now, although I haven't put in a ton of laps on the time trial, but I seen Raikkonen down at like a 26.2, and he seemed to have been having some pace here lately. He's getting the hang of it, or figuring some stuff out, because he seemed quick lately. So I'll say if these guys are hitting the almost in the 25s with 5 minutes left, I'd say we're going to be in the 25s.
Yeah, I hope so. You got to be up there. I think the platinum class will be probably mid to low 25s. I don't know if you could get in the 24s. I feel like Silverstone quite high speed, track. There's not much time to gain because you can't really go much quicker on the straight than what the car allows you to. So like you're going to gain a lot through sector 1 in that little technical section onto was that the Wellington straight, and then you might get a little bit out of the final few corners coming onto the main stretch. So I think they named that the Lewis Hamilton straight now.
Yeah, I think so.
And we do have, only 11 drivers here tonight. Although I will say that probably the top 7 are all capable of winning and competing with Zionical, Kluka, all the way down to F1 Nerd. They're all capable of winning, and they've all shown some great race pace. And especially when you go to a track like Britain, Silverstone, a lot of drivers are pretty good at this track just because it's a really popular choice. So I'd expect it to be close. You might have some long DRS trains, but I'm not expecting, especially since we have 11 drivers, I'm not expecting a lot of safety cars. So it's going to be very important to get good qualifying and make sure that you don't have any incidents in the first few laps, because if you do and you have to pit, if you have to pit twice, it's pretty much race over, out of win contention.
Yeah, it should be easy, medium to hard, or hard to medium, however they want to play it. So yeah, you definitely just want to have that one stop.
Yeah, because the pit lane here is just so long, and I think that's kind of the problem at this track. They have to change how long the pit lane is, because the pit entries, the pit limiter sign is quite early, and you kind of have to go around the last corner where it's just such a long pit. By the time you go in and out of the pits, it's around 38, 40 seconds. Some tracks are half that. I'm pretty sure it's around that. I didn't do practice to really find out, but I'm pretty sure it's quite long. Because Kluka was on a lap here. He had some wheel spin, and he's going to abort this lap. I wonder if he's got enough fuel in it to go again. His teammate on a lap here, Pilot, through the first sector, about even on his personal best. His teammate's up ahead. I wonder if he'll try and give him a little slipstream down. Oh, never mind. He bailed out. He said, I ain't giving you nothing. Oh, we have one other driver join us. Look at this. Oreo African. Pilot to the line, goes on to the front row, right ahead of his teammate, but not enough for pole position. He's running out of fuel, so that is it for him. A few Red Bulls starting their out laps. Eventually they'll start their flyers. Got a minute left here, Seegers. Who you got for pole? Yeah, a lot of drivers starting their laps here.
Not Kluka. Looks like he's running out of gas already as soon as he started his laps. So I think Zionical's going to hold on to it. Some big gaps to make up for the next people behind him.
It's really the top four really in contention. D-Swish down. They're going to have to find a few tenths. Daniel Morris is on a lap here. So he's out of the S section, and he's not improvement at all. Ahead of him is Pilot, who just finished a lap. We'll go through here. Kluka is running out of fuel. I wonder if he's got, how much left he's got in the tank. He is 2 tenths up, so that would put him clear into pole position. He does have a few pole positions to his name this season. No race win to go with it. Comes to the line, he still has enough fuel, it'll be pole position and into the 25s. 25.8 are good enough. F1 Nerd coming to the line, only good enough for 6th. Halberg in 9th. Here comes Ionical, not able to improve. Here's some guy, and he doesn't go quicker. D-Swish is up on his lap. He's the final, last person, and he goes P4. So Kluka grabs pole position, and I think that's his 4th one of the season. Let me see. Yes, that would have been his 4th pole position. So 4 pole positions, no race wins to go with it. So maybe today is the day.
Well, are you taking him for your podium predictions?
Oh, well, I was going to let you go first since you're the guest. If you want him, you could take him. He does have 3 DNFs to his name, though, but 2 podiums, too. So he's kind of 50-50.
I'll give him 2nd.
Oh, all right.
I'm going Zionical for the win, though.
And P3?
The names haven't popped up for me, so
I
have to need a minute on that one.
That means you don't watch enough Silver Class. You don't know some brand names.
I'll go with one I remember from racing with him in it. It was D-Swish. I'll say who comes up and grabs 3rd.
You remember racing with him?
Yeah. Yeah.
You raced with him in the Silver Class when you were back in there?
I think so. Back when I was first starting.
Yeah.
About season 10, or I want to say. It was the first year he even had the Silver Class. Was my first season in it.
Well, then that's a little farther back. I think our Silver Class started in season 8.
Yeah.
And you were there. Yeah, you were there.
Yeah.
So you've been, damn, you really old then.
Yep, been around. Missed a couple seasons in between with switching to PC before the crossplay thing. But.
All right, well, we are in the formation lap, prediction time, and you had your top 2 there, Seegers. You're going to go with D-Swish, so that is your 3rd.
Yeah.
So he's locking it in. I'm gonna go for Pilot for the win. He did cross the line first at some point. That would have been back at, let's see. That would have been back at the Netherlands. and it would have been his first win in TCR, and he also said in his league racing career, because he's quite new to league racing. So I think he's going to have a really good finish here. I think he'll go for the win. I like Zionicle for P2, and I like F1 Nerd for P3. I feel like he is on that alternate strategy, hard to medium, and I think he's better in the race than what his quali has right now. So those are my predictions. If you guys are watching on the YouTube side of things or Twitch, we are live on both. Send some predictions down below, and we're going to get this thing going. And we are getting 5 red lights for the British Grand Prix here in the Silver Class Season 16. And we are away, and it looks like an even start from the top 3. D-Swish didn't have the best of starts. Kluka goes for, and who's this? Zionicle for a spin. He had contact with Kluka, and he is down into last place. No damage, as the Williams lead 1 and 2. Everyone else behind are jostling for position. All single file, easy 10. He's going to try and pass Chabar for 7. He is on the medium tire as he's gaining some positions. As is Halberg, but he gets squeezed out there. And he'll have to fall back in line, but yeah, Zionicle side by side through, what was that, Abbey? And he got some contact there.
Yep, not looking good for my race winner pick. Got a little sketchy at the back. Some people went 3 wide at the start, but they made it through. Now everything's starting to smooth out.
Chabar having a nice battle with the easy 10, and Halberg comes around the outside, and he's onto the grass, and he's spinning out. Oh man. Yeah, I'd stay on track, not the grass.
These cars usually have more traction there.
Just a little bit more, yeah, I would say. Here comes easy 10 back on Chabar. Side by side to Lufield. Chabar gets the inside, covers off the line nicely. Easy will have a nice run into Cops, and he'll try for the inside. He'll clear him. Oh, but he had to slow down a little bit, and Chabar gets the go-ahead again through the S section. Nice battling between the two. Difference in tire compound. Some guy passes D-Swish for 3rd. He's the lead hard tire driver. He'll try and close the gap to the Williams who are leading this race. DRS is now enabled, and I think last week we also had Kluka and Pilot Kluka kind of started better because of his qualifying, and then throughout the race, Pilot seems to reel him in a little bit. And I think he'll have a shot when we get to the hangar straight. F1 Nerd gets dropped down to 7th. I don't know if that was Chabar overtaking him or if there was an issue. Up front, 2/10 is the gap. Pilot's got the DRS. Should be overtaking. Oh, he lefts off the throttle, so he knows he didn't want to pass his teammate then.
A little bit of strategery going on.
Yeah. We got a full course safety car. Joby is out. We weren't able to see where he crashed, although it was the exit onto the hangar straight there. Nobody was able to come into the pits to take an advantage, so this will just close up the gaps.
They could have if they would have just cut it in over the curbs and over the line.
You think? I'm pretty sure somebody a couple weeks ago at Abu Dhabi might have gotten a penalty crossing over, trying to get into the pit lane. I wonder who that was. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Do you know how them stewards can be?
Yeah, caught red-handed leaving the grocery store without paying. We got cameras and everything, and yeah. Yet they'll still go to court and appeal, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got a comment from
That's
Mike.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't you. Well, you're innocent until proven guilty. And, yeah, that is true. We got Mike in the YouTube comments, says he's excited for this one. Silverstone always brings some fun. Let's go. And that is true. Silverstone is always a nice Grand Prix. And appreciate you coming back, tuning in here tonight. Now it's interesting here because I wonder if anyone will pit. And they are. Wow! Kluka's going to give up all this track position to pit. Agree or disagree, Segrist?
I gotta disagree from first. I wouldn't mind it from a guy more towards the back. Let's see.
He's the only one who pitted too. He'll put on the hard tire and he'll try to get to the end, which he definitely won't be able to. He'll be able to get to the end. The only problem is he's now back in traffic and he's prone to getting into an incident.
Yeah, well, he should be able to make it, but I gotta say, on a race I did Saturday night, I think it was like lap 20 that my left front on hards blew out. But I did start the race on him. My car was a little heavier, so maybe he can make it a little easier.
Now, I will say, it could work out for Kluka, and I will say, only if it goes green the entire way. If we get another safety car later on, or very soon after if this is a chaotic race start, they're jumbling up already here, and we get another safety car, everyone else will pit, and then he'll just lose. He would have just lost all that track position. But if it stays green to the end of the race, which is a possibility because there's only 10 other drivers besides him, and DNFs here are kind of rare. The walls are so far off the track, which is kind of surprising. Joby hit it. you know, there's a possibility we don't get another safety car, and if that's the case with this long pit lane, it could work out for him.
Yeah.
Could. Anywho, his teammate will be leading the pack, ready to go green. It's up to him to decide when to go. Safety car is in to the pit lane. He is on these medium tires, so if there's any juice left in him, he'll be able to pull away. Everybody else behind him is on hards. Oh, and he hops the curb, some guy. Did you see that too?
Just barely. I was on Zionical's onboard. And he's dropping back. Quick. Oh, no, that ain't him.
No, that's Sorio, I think, dropping back here. He's under pressure by Halberg. But man, some guy, he took flight. Wow. He was all four. He was going through the corner. All four. Zionical and Kluka, they're going to be battling for position back here. They got to be careful. Whoa! He almost had damage right there. And I didn't get a chance to look back at that lap 1 incident between Kluka and Zionical, but I would probably say it's more of a racing incident. Oh, as Zionical goes deep out of cops. So it's not certain that Kluka or Zionical would get a penalty. If anyone would get a penalty, it'd probably be Kluka, because Zionical took pretty much the penalty in spinning. But I don't think he would have gotten one. But anywho, here comes Kluka.
With who the head silver steward is, I wouldn't even know where to begin to think what he'd do with that.
Oh, well, here's an incident. Oh, and there goes Kluka. Did he get damage, or was he clean?
I doubt it. He was, I think, he was at Hallberg was a little more behind him, so his front wing should be clean.
Wow. And that's just so close to what could have been damage and a race ruin right there, but that's the risk you pay going back into track position.
Yep.
Luckily, it was all right for him.
Yep, he could have been up there with his teammate playing nice still.
I think he passes Halberg maybe on this next straight or even sooner. And then he's got to start working this gap, because the field spread is already, from the leader, he's already 9 seconds behind, so he's got to work on that. And he's going to try going down cops. He thinks better of it. And that's also another thing. When you put a driver who's quite quick, especially him because he got pole position here today, then you put him back on a harder tire with slower traffic, they get impatient sometimes. Although he does good there, and he's going to get the move here. But it's always that other factor of racing others who, you know, you close in on a guy. Oh, but he spins it! He's spun it. Oh, he spun it.
Working them hards a little too much.
Now it don't matter what you pitted or not, because you just botched it anyway.
Yeah.
Story ended.
Yeah, he was bringing the heat. He was already down to like 25% battery when he spun, so he was pushing real hard, trying to get up there.
Here comes Jabbar down the inside of Daniel Morris. There's a little bit of contact, and Morris is going to return the favor a little bit, and he'll get back to the position, so no harm, no foul. And this is actually quite crucial for the championship. Oh, as the Red Bull closes real big on his teammate. Zionical, the championship leaders back at 9th. F1 Nerd and Chabar, they're 2nd and 3rd in the Drivers' Championship. which is really good for them, as now Shabar gets P4. So this could be a good race to kind of close in on Zionical.
For sure. Yeah, I guess it don't take long for the commentator curse to start working, because my 1 and 2 guys are struggling. I do got my D-Swish and P3.
Give it a couple laps, those hearts start to fall off. So. He's been impressive, D-Swish. He actually, I think he did get a podium, but I don't know if we talked to him or not. It might have been one of those post-race. Oh, Halberg went for another spin. He's in the gravel. Looks maybe had contact with Oreo. Zionical was also involved in it. It's a little hokey pokey back in the back of the field here. The bottom four. Speaking of D-Swish, he's closed in on some guy for second. Some guy does have a penalty, so that's not going to help him later on in this race. Pilot, he was able to pull a 2-second gap. He does have the softer tire in the medium, so that's helping him a little bit. Although now the roles are going to be reversed a little bit. I'm expecting him to pit in the next 2 or 3 laps, I'd say. D-Swish past the Mercedes. Mercedes engine versus Mercedes engine. And we got a question here, Segrist, for you from none other than our season 15 Silver Class champion of Camden, Luca. He says, Segrist, who is your favorite Haas Golden Class driver?
I definitely gotta go with Raikkonen on this one. The guy's just got the better pace of the two. Clear driver one, I gotta say. And he likes to bring the heat during the race. I like racing with him. It's tough.
Now the margin, you said number 1 driver. The margin between number 1 and number 2. How big is that margin between Raikkonen and Camden, in your words?
Like I like to tell my little brother when I outdrive him at golf, that there's enough room there that they could build a Walmart.
So Camden's at the Walmart and Raikkonen is at the golf course. Yeah, right. I like that. That's good.
But now, Camden's coming along, though. I was wondering what was up with him the first couple races there, because I expected him to be coming in right near the top, and I thought I caught on one of the streams that he just got a new wheel or switched from pad to a wheel or something. So,
exactly.
But he seems like he's getting the hang of it. The last couple races, he's getting better.
Yeah, pad to the wheel and also ABS off. So on a new game. So yeah, I think he had a nice finish a couple weeks ago in Netherlands 7th. So I don't know what he did last week, but. Yeah, he'll get up there. Him and J&B Carson all look pretty strong. All silver promotees into the gold class all look pretty strong at one point or another. And we have Zionical getting past Halberg, and once again. That's for P8. As they both come into the pits and see how much more aggressive Zionicle was to get into the pits. He really maximized it there. D-Swish again trying to the inside on some guy, and he's unable to make it. Just wanted to see how long is this pit lane we're going through. I wonder if they'll give us the gap from the pit entrance. Yeah, it doesn't show you. Pilot stays out another lap, followed by some guy in D-Swish, Chabar in 4th, and you know what? Well, he's battling. Oh, never mind. He's now in 5th. Danny Morris takes over. I think either one of these drivers, you can even include F1 Nerd, probably have a nice shot at a podium. They're only 3.5 seconds back, and with the penalty of some guy, it could be one spot open. We're halfway through this race.
Third time D-Swish hasn't been able to get it moved on in that same corner.
Yeah. Seems like he's good through the corner, the lower speed, and in the S section he kind of loses some time, and by the time the end of the DRS straight, he doesn't really have enough to get by. Here comes Chabar again, another 10th behind. Not close enough to make a move. Camden does like, he says the Walmart Haas driver has a pretty good ring to it, not gonna lie. So he likes the, he's the Walmart Haas driver. They picked him off the shelf. There's D-Swish and Chabar pit. They're going to be going on the medium tires, going to the end of the race. Interesting, they were on the hards, going to the mediums, and the medium driver Pilot is still out on track. And he is still leading this race. Do you think he'd try a medium soft, Segrist?
That'd be ballsy.
I know you like to do some of the time. Usually hard to soft, I think.
Yeah, I do like trying to mix it up, be on a different strategy than most people, but I think he'd have to do hard to soft if he's going that route.
Yeah. I think he comes in this time by to respond to D-Swish. He knows some guy's got a penalty, so he's just got to cover off D-Swish here.
True.
And he will. Now the only thing is you don't want to speed, spot your braking, and he does a good job in that. Some guy follows him in. Danny Morris takes over. Now where does Kluka come out? Kluka, even though he's spun, he's still out ahead of his teammate, who's on the hard tires, but a 10 lap deficit. D-Swish comes and he undercuts some guy, so he makes a position through the pit lane. Pilot's swerving, trying to get some heat in those hard tires. And the drivers behind him are on the medium, so they're going to be on the come-up. And the Williams are going to try and hold on here. It would be a net P1, P2. Kluka would be net 1 right now. Now, only if he didn't go for that little spin and all that kaboggle at the back, he'd even have a bigger gap. So he was on to something. F1 Nerd into the pits. Daniel Morris continues on. F1 Nerd. Yep, there goes the pass. Kluka is now into second. Zionicle gets past Oreo. Zionicle, after that spin, really hasn't made much progress. He's only been battling in the 9th and 10th positions. Seems like Oreo just lost the gear or something. He's so slow on the straight. I think he's down some power.
Got the GP2 engine.
Seems like it. Seems like it. We're coming to 10 laps to go here, Sirius. Who do you like in this situation for the race win? We got Kluka staying out on those hards, and he already made his pit stop. He'll go to the end. The gap is coming down from Pilot, who pitted, although he's on the hards. And these two battling for position. Some guy gets the position on the mediums with the penalty, and then you got D-Swish. So, and Daniel Morris is still out there. He's hoping for maybe a safety car or something to possibly put some soft tires on at the end of this race. So, a lot can happen still.
Yeah, but if I could say this without jinxing it, I guess I could just replace my podium predictions with Pilot winning instead of Zionicle, and then we got Kluka P2 and D-Swish P3.
I'd allow a substitution, you know. I think I'd allow it. I'd give it.
It was before the trade deadline.
Yeah, it was before the 50%. I think NASCAR does that. You can do the fantasy. The first 2 stages, you can change your driver.
Really?
Yeah, you could take them from the garage and put them in your lineup. So I think that was fair and square. We're now in stage 3.
Yep.
So we're good. That gap is coming down a lot. There's 5 seconds between the Williams. I mean, some guy could also close up and get a 3 seconds. He only has a 3-second time penalty. We got a yellow. It's Oreo through the grass, and he did exactly what you said. Cut the grass and go into the pit lane, but he grabbed a few penalties, and he's out of this race.
Ouch. It's been known to be a penalty point also.
I think the Silver class head steward of Silent. I think he might be on it already. Pilot is right on the back door of Kluka. And it's actually all four. We're all within DRS now. Top. Williams could close.
Be a good little finish.
He's going to try the inside. Man, those hards are, they're out. They got nothing left in them. As he holds him up, Danny Morris is into the pit, so this is for the lead now. Does Kluka hold up some guy? And now he's just going to let him past. And there's nothing left in those hard tires. I actually really like the strategy. I feel like if he didn't spin and he got better off the safety car restart, I think he would have been better off. And those hards might be a little worn, but I definitely think you could get more lap time out of it. Maybe a driver like Segrist would have been able to hold on for it.
Well, that's true. Now, like I said, I did have a blowout here right at about 20 laps on the other day, so it's a tough stretch. I do like the longer runs, though. I do feel like I get a little stronger relative to the field on some worn tires.
Yeah, I think that's when the driver starts to become more of a factor. I feel like a lot of the races, not as of late because we were at France and now Britain, and I don't think we'll get a lot of safety cars this week. But earlier on this season, we had a lot at some of the other tracks that we go to, and it could be kind of hard to get in a rhythm when every few laps you have a safety car under yellow. Tire wear isn't really a factor, but when you have a nice green flag like this, you know, it does bring more into strategy of what tires you'll go on to and when you go on to them as well. So maybe it's just a little early for Kluka. But some guy did get past. He is now with the lead. He is carrying that penalty. You'll be racing here tomorrow, which reminds me, tomorrow's the Golden Class, so feel free to tune in, same time, same place. We got the Platinum Class on Thursday. After your win back at the Netherlands, brings you back into the championship contention. And is this like your first time going for at least the Golden Championship? Now, how are you feeling with that moving forward?
Yeah, I've always been in the top 5, and it's usually like I have a kind of a slow start, and then I creep my way back up to the top 5, and but there's always them 2 or 3 guys that are just running away with it. But it's kind of been the same thing this year. Even though I got that win, I got a couple races where I didn't score points, or one of them being a 10th place or something. So I'm not. It could be better for sure, but a lot of season left. So yeah, hoping I can stay in it a little longer than I have before.
Yeah, I think it's pretty close once KD got moved up to platinum. You know, Remsley, GT, yourself, and Raikkonen. I think those four are pretty strong. I don't know if there's anyone else I'm forgetting, but anywho, Jamar getting overtaken
it's
by
one of the most even classes. My bad. One of the most even classes I've ever been in or seen, though. It's wide open. And I think Pilot's able to hang right on some guy on the hards, and so he might be getting the advantage coming back to him these last couple laps, too.
The gap between some guy and D-Swish is about 2 seconds, so at the moment it would be D-Swish for second. Kluka has got a penalty now. So some guy could probably get P3. The Red Bulls are a little too far back to really make a chance at the podium here. And we are towards the end of this race where another safety car would be unlikely. D-Swish, he could probably just... He needs another half a second. Try and get that DRS zone. And then he can see Pilot. Maybe looking for that win.
Yeah, does Pilot try to make a move and lose time battling with some guy and let D-Swish into it? Or just hang back? Because I know if it was me, I'd still be wanting, even though that guy might have a time penalty, I'd be wanting to cross that line first.
Yeah, because you really never know how they got the penalty, even though it might be for track limits 3 seconds. You know, did he get pushed off and did he, you know, at the opening lap? You never know. That was maybe one warning. And does he get it removed? So you always want to win on track if you can. If they have a bunch of penalties, then like 9 seconds, then I'd be a little bit alright to stick behind and just say, alright, I'll win. But if they only got the one penalty, I feel like at the end, you'd probably want to get past just to make sure. There's two ways you could play it if you're Pilot. If he wants to stay behind, he can stay behind. D-Swish would still need to gain another half a second or so to even pose a threat to him. But if he stays second, he would still get DRS. Or he could leave this group and some guy could be the kind of blocker. So either way, it's going to be difficult for D-Swish to get past Pilot, because the DRS, when you got 3 drivers, it kind of works more of a train than an overtaking tool. So Pilot, he would be able to play it 2 ways here. He can either stick behind and use the DRS to help keep him ahead, or he could be ahead and use some guy as if he's quicker enough, stay ahead of him, and then some guy can kind of be the blocker. But it's all a what-if scenario. Coming down, Kluka for P4. He's got 3.1 seconds behind is F1 Nerd, so he just has to hold on to that. That'll be P4. F1 Nerd and Chabar. They got Daniel Morris, who did put the soft tires on, and he's going to be coming back through the Red Bulls here. See if he can get up to a nice top 5 finish. It has not been Zionical's day. He does have a penalty as well. The bottom 3 all do. But he had some contact in lap 1, whether his fault or not, was between him and Kluka. And we did have one safety car, but that really didn't do much besides, and he picks up another one there. So he's going to be P8 in this race, which we have not seen before. He's always been on the podium. Look at that gap now. D-Swish 1.1, 1.2.
Yeah, Pilot kind of butchered the S section last lap. We gained some time on him, but him having that DRS has just been keeping him out of reach.
It's really close now, and he's got a lot of battery too. I think he's going to try and get past maybe on this next straight. Oh, he goes almost wide. You don't want to pick a penalty in here. You definitely don't want to do that. Yeah, he messes that whole S section up. Does D-Swish get a run here? Pilot's got a run, and he's going to make the move. Down the inside, it's Stowe. Some guy's still going to fight it. Oh, does he go up the inside here? Oh, no he doesn't. It's a little bit of respect given. It does allow D-Swish to get DRS at least onto some guy. If he could stay with it, about 8/10 the gap. Pilot has this in the bag. He's got enough battery to defend. Some guys only got 6% battery. See what the run is through this S section. Oh, another penalty, and that's gonna it won't change much. I think he'll still be P3, and I think these three will stay in order. Oh, Klukas got a time penalty, and now he's in 7th, and really behind this next group, as they are all battling. F1 Nerd, Daniel Morris, here comes through Stowe. F1 Nerd holds on, and Pilot will cross the line, and he'll actually grab his first win. His true first win in the Silver class and in TCR. D-Swish for P2. Some guy holds on to P3, and it is F1 Nerd, followed by Daniel Morris and Jabbar in P6. Kluka had some issues there, picked up another time penalty, and it looked like he went through the grass at some stage. No punctures to report, but he is P7. P8 for the championship leader, first time off the podium and off race here in Silverstone. Halberg in 9th. Easy 10 will grab 10th, and the final point. Oreo and Joby are the two retirements in this race. I thought it was a pretty neat race. It wasn't domination from Zionical, like maybe we could have thought, and it was kind of the first time we'd seen that. So we have a new winner here in the class, Pilot, and he grabs a bunch of points too, brings him right back up the standings. Pilot before this had 26 points and 10th, so he'll have 51, which puts him in the top 5, I'd say.
Yeah, it was a good finish. Would have been nice if some guy didn't have that penalty and would have made, why can't I think of his name already? The guy that won.
Pilot?
Would have made him, yeah, would have made Pilot have to push a little harder. The pin's been hitting hard while the race has been going on. So. Yeah, then Pilot wouldn't have been able to sit back and save so much of his battery, but still a good race, though.
see, going into the post-race interviews, if anybody, I have the YouTube comments up, has any questions for the top three, leave them in the comments below, and I will be sure to ask. Seegers, get ready with some questions. I'm interested to see what you come up with.
Yeah, I got my first one lined up.
All right. How do I get in the... And let's see. We got to get the drivers. That's what we would need to do. Let me see if we get the drivers in here. It was Pilot, it was some guy, and it was D-Swish. There we go. I just need one more. Waiting on some guy. Alright, well, we'll come back if he does join. We'll go to P2 in this race, and you know, it's D-Swish, returning driver after quite a few seasons, and you are a reserve, although you keep showing up every week. Let's get you a full-time ride. It's your, I don't think it's your first podium of the season, but I think it's the first time we're talking to you. I think you had maybe promoted after a Stewart's incident, I believe. That's correct?
Yeah, I think so. I think after somebody got a penalty 2 races ago, right?
Yeah, I believe so. But yeah, you had some good speed here today. Just needed a little bit more for the win. You were able to get P2. Some guy had that penalty. Kluka and Cyonical kind of had some issues in this race, and put you right into the mix. So yeah, how do you feel about this one?
I feel pretty good. Kind of this year I've gotten back into league racing. My job as a police officer doesn't really give me much time, but I've been lucky with some days off to get back into it. Past couple races I haven't really been able to get to the podium. I have the pace. I just, for whatever reason, I get screwed with a safety car, or I use 5 sets of tires like I did in Zandvoort. But yeah, good to be back on the podium.
Oh, police officer too. I feel like you'd be pretty good at the stewarding ordeal, possibly. I think a good suggestion would be if anybody was naughty, perhaps we just handcuff them and make sure they don't show up next week. Is that a good suggestion? You're good at stewarding.
Sure. Yeah, I think I was a gold steward a couple seasons ago. But I haven't gotten back to it, obviously.
Yeah. And are you on the wheel or controller? Just curious.
On a brand new Fanatec wheel. I just got a brand new setup for this year's game, so drastically improved my driving. So.
Oh wow! Oh, well, good for you. It's definitely working. Yeah, you are have been showing up quite a lot. What's the plan going forward? And do you think you can maybe grab a win here in the next few races? It seems like you have the pace to do so.
I definitely have the pace. In France, I crashed out on the 6th lap
Yeah.
due to my foot cramping up, and I lost the car, and I just couldn't save it. But I think I do. I definitely think I have, pace to pick up a win here. Whether or not I'm going to be able to make it the next couple of weeks is kind of up in the air with my days off. But I'm going to try to. I love racing in this league, and it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. And Segrist, any questions for the Swish?
No, I would like to start a petition to bring D-Swish back as the head steward of Gold, and we could use a replacement there. But yeah, I remember racing with you a while back, man. So you was my go-to the whole time. Don't rewatch the stream, but I picked you, and I was pulling for you. You had a good run there. Hung around fourth, where you started there, and then finished third. Looked like he's coming up on him at the end. Think you had it with a couple more. If you had a couple more laps, get in that DRS.
Yeah, if I had a couple more laps, I burned a lot of my ERS trying to fight some guy. I was trying to get him to work with me at the beginning. I think if we would have worked together instead of fighting, we probably would have won by 4 or 5 seconds. But it is what it is. But yeah, I remember racing with you way back when, a couple years ago now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he used to run under Luckin' Up was his username. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Good stuff. No, it's cool to have you back. All those, you came back after a little bit of a break. That's cool. And with the new wheel, it looks like you're putting in. I think you're gonna get the hang of it real good. A couple race time. So, yeah, good race, good finish, and good luck the rest of the way.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Absolutely. And we will move on to the Williams, and unless there's another penalty that you might get, Pilot, I think this is now your true first, and hopefully staying first win in TCR and in the Silver Class, so congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. I didn't have any incidents this race, so I don't think there will be any issue with penalties. So I'm hoping this one will stay.
Now, last time I asked if this was your first win in league racing, and at the time that was your first win. That got taken away. There's been a couple weeks in between. Have you won any other league races, or is this your first win? True win?
Nope, this is still again my first win.
Perfect. So it does work out one way or the other. Does this feel like a first win, or does it feel like a second win based off of the steward's decision? Like when that steward's decision came out a couple weeks ago, what was your reaction to that?
So I knew it looked kind of bad, and I mean, on my end, I just didn't expect to go that deep. I think a 10-second penalty was a bit harsh, but it is what it is. But it definitely feels more like a second win than a first win. But I mean, I'm still enjoying it as much as I can.
Absolutely, and just curious, when you crossed the line, either at Netherlands, was it Netherlands?
That I won, yeah.
Technically, yeah, or technically
One
not,
track.
I guess. Yeah. Either at that race or this race, did you record your race, and when you crossed the line, did you have any emotion? Some people scream or say woohoo or whatever. Did you have any of that emotion in there?
Well, I don't record myself on like the mic or anything, and the rest of my family's asleep right now, so gotta be real quiet. So no, nothing really.
Was it like a whisper woo, like anything like that?
Pretty much, it was like a silent scream.
Okay. Nice. And so Anikel had kind of an off day, so this puts you back, I think, closer to the top 5, and in your progress towards the championship. I think you have a real shot at it if you keep getting these podiums here, and you obviously grabbed a bunch of points off Zionical here tonight. So how do you feel moving forward next week? Let's see where we'll be. Next week we are at,
I believe, Austria.
yes,
Something?
Austria. Yeah, and it's a sprint week as well. Look at that.
Yeah, going forward, the next couple tracks I'm feeling a lot more confident in. Today, I knew that like this track is one of my worst tracks, so I'm honestly really surprised to be up here. But I know going forward, I've got a couple of good tracks ahead, so I'm hoping I can get a lot more points, maybe be in contention for the Drivers' Championship, but I'm not too optimistic with that.
All right. Well, congratulations on the win, Segrist. Any questions for the
Yeah. Early on there, when you was up front with your teammate, do you guys were you in a chat together? Were you the one that told him, "Hey, why don't you jump in the pits real quick and get out of my way," or how'd that play
No,
out?
so we weren't in a chat or anything, and I was just trying to stick behind him. I was going to let him do his thing, and I was going to follow behind him just so we could get as big as a gap behind as possible. I was really surprised when he made the decision to pit because I thought that was just going to ruin his race, and it kind of did.
Kinda did, yeah, because he got caught back in there and all the traffic and bad stuff happened. But yeah, I was wondering if that was if you guys were discussing that or not.
Nope, that was just a call on him.
Nice. All right. Well, congratulations once again. Go enjoy it, and hopefully we'll see you a lot more in the future. And yeah, that's going to conclude the post-race interviews and this stream. I'm going to throw it back to you, Seegers, one more time. We have a little segment of 5 words or less. Describe what happened here tonight. It's kind of timid, to be honest.
Oh, man, that's out of left field and no warning there from the commentator.
No warning.
Uh,
Putting you on the spot.
I got nothing.
I got
Still-
nothing. You know what? I'm gonna take that. I think that works. I got nothing. I think that works here tonight because
There it is.
it was a good race, but I mean, not much happened besides Zionical getting spun at the first corner and Kluka having that weird strategy and maybe a couple a couple spins in the back, but out in front it wasn't that eventful. Once Pilot got the lead because some guy had the penalty and D-Swish was just a little too far back, and so not
I got nothing.
I got nothing, basically. Exactly. Just want to thank everybody for tuning in. And tomorrow's the Golden Class. Thursday for the Platinum Class. Check the description for more information on our website where all the statistics are now updated. So go check your stats, see where you rank on the leaderboards. The Hall of Fame ballot has also opened up. So go and vote for the next nomination of the class of season 16, as well as our latest episode of the Racing Debrief, the podcast where myself and GTR Lion talked about our inductions and our new nominees that are on the ballot. Other than that, that's going to be it here for today. It is myself, C. Freeze, and just me, because my co-commentator just ditched me. But thanks to Segrist for joining in. It's been fun. It's been a pleasure. And until next time, have a good night, everybody.